Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther. Today is Saturday, June 20th, 2020. And today's topic is called Suspect Sun and Fishy Clouds. And it covers a collection of sky observations and images taken between June 13th and June 17th, 2020. So before we get going with the sky observations, I'd like to say again, welcome and warm greetings. Good day, osio, hao, buongiorno, guten tag, kia ora, jambo, buenos dias, bonjour, ni hao, tien dobre, konnichiwa, dobrohonya, annyeonghaseyo, boa tarde, dobry den, aloha awinala, and galimera. And so the first little starter image is just to show some nice fresh lemon infused water. Maybe as an idea to celebrate Father's Day, or possibly to try a key lime pie for Father's Day, making it yourself. I have noted here see details and recipe at the end of the slides. There's a really nice LSP viewer, Lavender Sky Panther viewer, who sent in a nice recipe, so we'll show you that. And in the meantime, I would like to say a very happy Father's Day to all fathers, stepfathers, angel fathers, uncles, grandparents, guardians, anybody who plays the role of father. You have a very special role in this world to do that. So wishing you a very happy day. And I know other countries celebrate at different times, so this is extended to you as well. In the U.S., Father's Day is tomorrow, Sunday. All right, so before we get going, just want to take a moment again to bring your attention to the things that I'm going to show you. They're just one point of view. Actually, I try to cover several points of view, cover it. But just know, just have a wide open mind at what you're seeing. And I always request that if you have any better ideas, or even just any ideas, different angles, perspectives, better or not, just leave me a comment in the comment section below. It's good to look at all of this together and try to get to the truth no matter what we're seeing. And that's the one way to do it. Have a nice little dialogue. Anyway, here we go. So the first slide is called Ethereal Sky Triangle. And I just noticed this beautiful backlight and sunbeams, coming from behind, kind of highlighting this triangular object, let's say form in the sky. And again, other shows I've talked about it. If you have a near perfect triangle or anything with geometry and symmetry that's not just a circle or a ball, we're talking there's got to be some type of man-made or human-made or artificial-made object or craft or something in the sky to do that, and or film or some technology. So anyway, there could be a host of things it could be. So I'm going to throw out a few things, and again, see what resonates with you. If you agree, great. If not, again, leave me a comment in the comment section. So this one's pretty straightforward. I changed the contrast and the color a bit just to see if I could draw out anything more in the photo. I really didn't yield too much, so I just drew the outline though, just to help for those who don't readily see it, that's the triangular shape. Okay, now here we're going to play a little game of, is it a triangle or is it a fish? Is this a strange sky craft? What is it? So here you'll see the shape as I, note here. I blew it up and changed the contrast, zoomed in. Drew a little outline again to assist you to see what I'm seeing. And I thought, okay, that looks like the back end of some type of triangular craft. Now, when you look up in the sky, you notice how dark that is. And I noticed on a YouTube channel, a sky observer from about 6 years ago, though they don't seem to post anymore. But he noted that, this territory sometimes even looks like a tinted glass or tinted, window effect. And that really is what it is. Some of these are so easy to spot once you know what you're onto. And again, the symmetry and the geometry is what gives it away. But anyhow, on another note, we'll address some of that more later in another show. But as we zoom in, that's the shape I saw. Now, is that it? Maybe, maybe not. So I was just seeing a piece of it. This original photo was taken just a little bit ahead of this one. And I noticed, oh, you know what? This may be a part of something bigger, right? So I looked over here. I brought this, copied this over, changed the contrast and the color, and look at this. Seems like it could be part of a much bigger form, and I'm just saying fish because it does look more fish-like. So, is it a triangle? Is it a part of this? I don't know, but I thought it was darn interesting and wanted to share it with you. Okay, this one I'm just calling Baby Sky Shark because looking up, again, we get that effect where there's just some kind of dark, symmetrical, geometrical object. Looks and reminded me of a kind of a little disproportionate shark swimming, underwater. So I blew out the contrast, just to see what might come forward. And look at this, to me that looked like a little pyramid of some sort. And so again, I outlined it, just to kind of highlight it. Is this the exact shape? Probably not. It's just what I could see and just kind of my best guess of what could be going on there. Okay, now we're going to go into what is this, okay? First of all, this is the original photo in the upper right-hand corner. I saw this big fuzzy thing, even to the naked eye. It looked fuzzy and out of place. Looks like a big thing of cotton candy. I know if you're in the UK, you call it candy floss, and other countries have different names for it. And then here, there's some kind of symmetrical object happening. So that really caught my attention. Then when I blew this up to put it in the slide, I'm like, whoa, what the heck is this thing? So I zoomed in even further over here. So I'm just calling it a sky trilobite. Because it's just really odd. I mean, it almost looks like a worm or parasite. I don't know what this thing is, but look at that. It's got like these stripes. I tried to, pull out more features, but you may even see it better just right here. Anyway, I thought that was extremely interesting. I've never seen anything like that in the sky in my life, guaranteed. All right, so here we go to Sky Dolphin. Kind of speaks for itself. It just reminded me, evoked, little image of the head of the dolphin anyway, and the beak, the, front part. So I zoomed in and tried a little bit of contrast, but didn't really pull much out of it. But it just looked very pretty and elegant. I have seen nearly this exact same shape before, and it's very strange. I really wonder what is causing that. Is it something, of the spiritual realm? Is it something artificially created? It's hard to say. It does look like something more of a supernatural phenomenon to me rather than human-made, though. Okay, here we go. This one's called Sky Whale, and I just caught this because if you can see it, what I can see, that's the head and the belly, and that would go off to the tail and the fin draping down here. I noticed also kind of three distinct shapes. This really caught my attention when I was watching it, but I didn't really see much, further than that. But I just thought this was a very beautiful moment in the sky. All right, this one I'm just calling land crab, and as you can see why, maybe, that would be the head, and then a couple of the claws coming over here and the legs back over here. Now this is just a strange cloud form. Look at, we've got almost lenticular, feel to these things, and it's extremely low in altitude, and it's extremely hot, so it's subtropical weather. So that really doesn't normally form at all. And then this is again like a hazy puff. So I just caught this moment because it just stood out like a sore thumb. And then you have the normal white puffy cumulus clouds happening beyond. It's just an odd moment. All right, speaking more odd moments, here we have two crescents going this way and then a backward crescent this way with some kind of loose ties here. So I just thought this was such an odd moment because you see the tree line. These puffs, I don't even know how they're created. This even looks like it has like sheep's feet or some type of effect coming off. And then you've got cumulus in the background, but these are extremely low-grade clouds. What's that phenomenon? We're seeing it time and time again lately. And I just zoomed in on these because they really look like they were like attached by cords. It could be an effect that these were happening beyond, but still, what even causes that? That's just a, food for thought, a question I'm putting out there. All right, here we go, strange clouds or sylphs. Now, thanks to a recent viewer, appreciate it, from My Skies 5D, I'll make sure I have a reference in the description box below on that. He pointed out the concept of sylphs, which basically means air elemental. And he further referenced to, I think it's called Indian in the Machine, a link, I'll make sure that's there as well, about this phenomenon, how I was just calling these sky wisps. I wasn't sure what they were, but it's perhaps, again, a very spiritual phenomenon, a supernatural phenomenon, where these just do appear and maybe have more of a divine nature to them. So again, beautiful world to discover in there, in the world of sylphs, and I'll point you to that in the description below. Okay, odd clouds, once again. These are cumulus, but they seem to be just sprouting, emanating vertical, and are very narrow, extremely skinny. Look at this. I've just never seen like anything like that ever in my life, observing clouds since I was a tiny kid. And here we go. This is just, it looked like, to me, reminded me of a face. It's very symmetrical, just for fun cloud play. It looks like a face looking up. I think that's a bird or a gnat, I'm not sure. And again, we've got very puffy white cumulus, but then what the heck are these grays doing? There's a whole sheet of low gray clouds traipsing through. And then here we have very cut specific edges, so I don't know if that was an object behind or not. Anyway, thought I'd share these oddities with you as well. Okay, now we get into now you see it and now you don't. Photo credits on this go to Sungazer77, a nice LSP viewer. Thank you so much. He observed, and this is looking toward the northwest. Let's see. Yes, looking northwest over toward Coral Gables, Miami, if anybody's familiar with that greater Miami area. And then this is looking north to downtown, coming off of Key Biscayne. Now, as you can see, what he even noted was, like, nobody's trying to hide it anymore, what's happening in terms of routinely, close to sunset, our sun, and I put that in quotes, if it's the sun or an artificial, it's looking very artificial, or artificially veiled, let's just say, a sun, is being covered up routinely at sunset, at least in my area of the world. You can almost set a watch by it. So it's not a natural phenomenon because we have a buildup of a cloud layer happening low that'll later turn into gray, weird clouds. Then we have this huge gray blanket coming in, moving in, and it's coming in from the north-northwest over toward the east. And it's gray, and then it has this puddling, spanning, sprawling out cloud activity happening up here, which you'll see better in the next couple of slides. So these two photos also, credit goes to Sungazer77, thank you so much. But here we go, now we're looking south, and so we saw this cloud form happening from further away to the northeast. Now we're almost up under it. So we have this low, gray layer, and then this, white cloud puddling out. So I'm going to call it and just say this is an artificial phenomenon. It's happening consistently over the last few weeks, and sometimes it has weird color in it, but the character of it is, just seems very artificial. I would be shocked if it's natural. But every single time, it just comes in right on cue to block out the sunset and the red flash happening toward the last 10 to 20 minutes of sunset, let's just say. And I'll get to that in a future show. All right, so here's looking at that same cloud coming over toward the east, just from another perspective. Again, the dark red cloud, and then you get some weird texture happening in this puddle coming out toward the east. This is now looking north, and you see this heading east. It's a little more billowing. Get these scrappy, strange clouds happening. It's very odd. Okay, another view of the same thing. Now you can just see how high it's starting to get. This is looking to the north, and this is looking to the west as that puddle is starting to come over. And then I think we've got a few little shapes, symmetrical shapes hiding in there. Let you take a look on that a little more on your own. All right, now this is called Strange Sun Shapes and Sun Plus Object. So between 10 a.m. and 10:04 a.m., we have this happening, okay? So it looks like a reverse or like inverted crescent, like a shadow of a crescent happening over this. But anyway, whatever the case, it's pretty dark to kind of obscure the sun. But anyway, the sun takes that form, then it turns more into a ball. Then again, we don't have this darker cloud, but it still looks oblong instead of roundish. And then it goes back to roundish. So what the heck is going on with the sun? The sun has to be artificial, and then it's morphing and changing and taking on weird shapes, and the shine of it is changing. Then a little bit later, between 10:10 and 10:12, some of these dark clouds pass over the sun. I'm going to use in quotes again because I think artificial tech is up there, veiling and lensing our perception of the sun. But anyway, you start to see this object. So this object would be sitting right in front, and you only happen to see it when the clouds come over. So here it is. You see the bigger shine happening beyond. And then this is a moment later. Again, there's an object sitting there with a bigger shine beyond, and here's that object, bigger shine happening beyond it. So then we get to full bright out, wash out, when the cloud goes away, and that object's sitting there, you can't even see it. So this is a really special opportunity to start looking at the sun with eye protection and very cautiously. Don't hurt your eyes. But whenever dark clouds pass over, you can see that thing showing up routinely, at least in my part of the world. All right, now we have sun plus object again, 2 light sources versus 1 at the lens flare. So typically I have one sun, one flare, from the camera, the lens flare, one lens flare. But lately I've been getting 2 doubles, so that implies a couple of light sources. So again, I think that ball from this angle might be happening here. But whatever the case, it's just something to note as you're looking and observing and hopefully taking pictures on your own too. Now I have this included in the lower left-hand corner. This bigger image comes from Planet X News YouTube channel. This one, the little inset, comes from Mr. MBB333 YouTube channel. So it's just observing that there's the sun, and then there's a little object there, next to it. And that's what we're catching in the previous slide. Okay, here we go again, the sun plus object, just more views on a different day, where you have it here, and then bam, it's lost, it's in here somewhere. there it is again, when you get the right conditions with the clouds passing over it. Again, brighter shine, and then the object. I zoomed in here on this one because you almost see a rectangular or square outline happening here. And again, that would hold true if there's some type of simulator or lens work or veiling sheet system up in the sky, who knows. Again, that controls how we perceive the sun or adjusts its glare, its brightness, who knows. But anyway, I'm just throwing it out there. Anybody who's curious to learn more about that, I do have previous shows, and please, please, please do go look at other Earth and Sky watching channels if you haven't already on YouTube, and start to root around and see what everyone else's perspectives are as well, and to formulate your own opinion about what's going on in our skies. And above all, go out and look and observe yourself. Please go out and look every single day and wonder at what's going on in the sky if you're not doing it already. All right, now if you've seen any of my shows before, welcome to new people if you haven't. I like to close on a little note of nature, and in this case it's a key lime pie recipe, as I mentioned before, sent in by a very kind Lavender Sky Panther viewer. And so I'm not going to walk through all of the steps. I'll let you read that on your own, or have someone read it for you if you aren't able to, sit down and read. Maybe somebody can read it in the background for you. But just note that if you don't have key limes, I know they're very specific citrus, you can substitute limes instead of key limes. And if you don't have graham crackers, which go into the crust wherever you live, you can use just other cookies that you like, crush them up, and then use those instead. All right, now I'd like to close. Here's the photo of the week. And just saying thank you for reflecting on things here a bit with a little wink, because as you can see, this is a puddle and it's reflecting these palm trees. So in the meantime, it is Saturday where I am. Happy weekend to everyone. Have a beautiful weekend coming up ahead, and I extend just the warmest wishes to you. Best wishes for happiness, great happiness, health, wealth, other types of prosperity and abundance, love, harmony, happiness, joy, whatever you're looking for in life. May it be yours. And in the meantime, tremendous peace and love. Take care, everyone. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.